Minnesota sports flowing in their veins. Mackey and Judd on Score North and ScoreNorth.com.
And this feels like more than just a contract play for Michigan at this point. This feels like Jim Harbaugh really exploring the possibility of returning to the NFL. He will interview with the Vikings on Wednesday. According to our Tom Pelissero, he has a relationship with new Vikings general manager Kwesi Adolfo-Mensah from their time together with the 49ers. So Harbaugh really in this deep now. He is one of 4 finalists along with Rams offensive coordinator Kevin O'Connell, Giants defensive coordinator Patrick Graham, and Rams defensive coordinator Raheem Morris. So we'll see where this goes. Could see more of that back on.
And welcome into the Scoop Podcast. That was Mike Garafolo, NFL Network, talking about the reckless speculation and the truth of the Vikings coaching search, which has gotten hot, heavy, and incredibly interesting. Zolgad, Darren Doogie Wolfson, Channel 5 Eyewitness News, and of course the Scoop Podcast, and executive producer Declan Goff. And Darren, let's just start. Let's start. What can we, as we record this right now at approximately 11:10 a.m. on Tuesday for Bonus Scoop, what can you tell me about where things stand with the Vikings coaching search?
Yeah, I mean, for sure, Judd. Note the time, because inevitably at some point later today, things will change in some capacity. We both went on the record last Thursday. Phil Mackey challenged the two of us to give him one name to be this team's next head coach. We both said Rams offensive coordinator Kevin O'Connell. Now, maybe it's me just being a stubborn SOB, but I said it last Thursday, so I think I should at least keep going with that until I hear that Jim Harbaugh's interview tomorrow in Eagan goes really well. We know there's an awkwardness about Jim Harbaugh. It's entirely possible the in-person interview tomorrow, Wednesday, doesn't go well. But I get it. The optics suggest Jim Harbaugh is coming here to sign a contract. Why else would he be coming to Eagan? That he should be the betting favorite. But I'm just telling you, there's some weirdness there. And I'm with Garafolo. I don't think at this point this is any sort of leverage ploy. Michigan has put a nice contract extension on the table going back weeks. You know, could they increase that offer? I suppose. I'll also point to John U. Bacon, who has written a book about Harbaugh, the definitive source on Jim Harbaugh. He tweeted this morning, Judd, 60-40. Now, actually, I don't remember, Judd. Do you remember? Was it 60-40 Harbaugh stays in Ann Arbor?
Yes.
Or 60-40 he leaves? Okay, so 60-40 he stays in Ann Arbor. So what does John know? We brought this up last Thursday before the Harbaugh stuff got hot and heavy on Sunday. We were days ahead of it, Judd, pointing to John U. Bacon, that connection to Harbaugh, how he kept the Vikings in his mix, even at 20 to 25%. So we thought it was worth broaching last Thursday. He is now saying today 60-40 Harbaugh stays. But I get it. Like, Judd, I completely get it. When fans say it's pretty much a done deal, why else would he be coming here? He's coming here to sign a contract. He is not leaving Eagan without signing a contract. I completely get it. We have been told, Judd, that he has explored the possibility of adding certain members to an NFL staff. Maybe not necessarily here in Minnesota, but going back weeks, Harbaugh has reached out to some friends saying, hey, if I end up with an NFL job, would you be interested in joining me? That he has legit interest. We know some people who know Jim, that he has legit interest in returning to the NFL. That in many ways, it's now or never at 58 years old. He can also tell Michigan, guess what? You made me take a pay cut a year ago. And hey, I won you a Big Ten championship. I beat Ohio State finally, but I beat Ohio State. I took you to the college football playoff. Like, what else do you want me to do? I'm leaving the program in a really good spot. And again, after you made me take a pay cut, a significant pay cut. So Harbaugh can justify his actions that way. We have been told he likes Kirk Cousins, so he has done his homework on the Vikings roster, and that new general manager, Kwesi Adolfo-Mensah, likes Jim Harbaugh, that they worked together in San Francisco for 2 years, that Adolfo-Mensah is driving this bus in many ways. Judd, we have a reason to believe that Adolfo-Mensah gave the Vikings 3 names in his initial interview, that Zoom interview back on January 17th. Those 3 names, because all the GM candidates were asked about head coaching candidates. Kwesi gave the Vikings 3 names: Jim Harbaugh, Patrick Graham, Kevin O'Connell. And I know that when O'Connell initially interviewed virtually 11 days ago, he impressed. The feedback so far from last night is he's impressive. There are fans of Kevin O'Connell within the Vikings circle. So it's going to be one of those two. Like, I just don't see a scenario where Patrick Graham blows their socks off today. Maybe I'll be proven wrong on that. But I don't think the next head coach is going to be Patrick Graham. I don't think the next head coach is going to be Raheem Morris. I've thought for a long time the new head coach would be an offensive-minded head coach. So we're looking at Kevin O'Connell and Jim Harbaugh.
Oh, this is so beautiful.
It's juicy, and it is beautiful. I agree, Judd.
Darren, what do you think the percentage chances are? Because the fear, especially for the fan base, it seems to be that the Harbaugh camp is using the Vikings to try to get a play to the Dolphins job. What would you handicap the percentage chances are right now of that being the case?
Well, that's another tentacle to this equation, that Stephen Ross, the Dolphins owner, is a Michigan guy. That when they fired Brian Flores, he went on the record saying, I will not be the guy to pluck Jim Harbaugh out of Ann Arbor. I will not do that to my college football program. We are not hiring Jim Harbaugh. But I've had second degree of separation, but I've had a couple highly trusted NFL people tell me the Dolphins are well aware of Jim Harbaugh's interest in this Vikings job, that if they want him, go get him. That Miami would be intriguing to him. That if Stephen Ross realizes in the end, hey, Harbaugh's leaving Michigan anyway, so if he's leaving Michigan, I may as well bring him here to Miami. Hey, we like the 49ers offensive coordinator. Hey, we like the Cowboys offensive coordinator. It seems those 2 guys are among the finalists in Miami. But if we can hire Jim Harbaugh, have Jim Harbaugh work with our young quarterback Tua, let's do this. Let's make this happen. So that is something to keep an eye on as the day unfolds. Does Miami get heavily involved in this process? My sense right now, Judd, is they are lurking. But is it entirely possible that they go more in on Harbaugh? 100%.
And there's also the chance that Jim sees a better chance to win, because I think he wants to win. Like, I don't think he's in this for, in 2 years will be good. That he just flat out sees a better opportunity to win with Kirk than Tua as well, because Tua is the unknown. Like, I think there's a lot of people now, including his former coach, Dukes, who are out on Tua. So there is a chance that in examining the rosters and doing his due diligence on that, especially quarterback play, that he has decided the Vikings actually have the better option to win now than the Dolphins do.
Agree. I mean, let's go down that rabbit hole. How about just the entire landscape of the AFC? Or even just looking at the AFC East, having to battle Josh Allen. Like, we don't know if Aaron Rodgers will be back in Green Bay next year. We know Josh Allen will be back in Buffalo next year for many years to come. Can you unseat Buffalo? Can you find a path to winning the AFC East?
Yep.
That might be really difficult. Then you look at the landscape as a whole in the AFC, Joe Burrow, Justin Herbert, Patrick Mahomes. Like, those are a lot of obstacles to winning the AFC. You look at the NFC, Tom Brady now officially retired as of this morning. We wonder about Aaron Rodgers. Could he end up in the AFC, maybe with Denver or somewhere else? Like, you look at the NFC and you're like, you know what? Maybe not all that challenging the next couple years, that there is a better opportunity to win with the Vikings. And Judd, we both have been in contact with people who know Jim. The desire more than anything is, here at 58 years old, he wants back in the NFL because he wants to win the Super Bowl. That he came oh so close with the 49ers a number of years ago, that his ultimate goal as a coach is to not win a college football national championship. It's to win a Super Bowl. And yes, Judd, you can make a strong case over the next 3 to 5 years, the Vikings have a better chance than Miami.
So if Jim and Kwesi are friends, who do we think that Jim Harbaugh has to win the interview with on Wednesday? The Wilfs?
Well,
like who?
Let's go back to Monday. So in LA Monday, Mark Wilf, Kwesi, Rob, Brzezinski. So clearly Rob is involved. So I think Rob has some sort of say. So I think Jim would have to win over Rob. And yeah, while the Wilfs, you brought this up with me last week, Judd, how the Wilfs love to make splashes, right? Kirk Cousins, Brett Favre, Randy Moss. There's a track record going back 16 years of them being owners. They enjoy making splashes. Jim Harbaugh would certainly be a splash hire. Kevin O'Connell would not be a splash hire. That being said, I still think Mark Wilf needs to be won over. So I'm looking squarely at Mark Wilf, Rob Brzezinski. Yes, there may be some others, maybe Ann Depner, a couple others. Ryan Munnins, Jamal Stevenson right now are in Mobile at the Senior Bowl, so they will not be in Eagan on Wednesday. But it's Rob and it's Mark, at least in my mind.
Interesting stuff. You actually had this fairly early on, I believe, on Monday. What do we know about why DeMeco Ryans bowed out of the Viking search?
Yeah, I mean, I texted you. The problem was, because there's such a race to be first, I had it on decent authority. I didn't have it on excellent authority. So I texted you, late morning or so yesterday, hours before the news actually broke. I think our buddy Pelissero broke the news that DeMeco Ryans was out of the mix. I had it on decent authority. Maybe I should have run with it. I did not run with it. But yeah, DeMeco Ryans, the plan was for the Vikings to head to Northern California today for an in-person interview. That when they went out to Los Angeles on Monday, the plan was to be out in California for a couple days. Those plans changed. There is a sense, and keep in mind on this angle, DeMeco Ryans shares an agent with Kwesi Adolfo-Mensah. There is an agency connection there. That
Just
DeMeco
like we
Ryans,
do, dude.
Yeah, well,
I mean,
so
don't like to talk about it, but we do.
Yeah,
share
so
the same agent.
I'm making a little bit of a leap. I don't have this on 100%, factual, baseline, but the fact that they share an agent, Kwesi's in contact with his agent, right? Or the agent's in contact with his client, getting the lowdown and wondering if it makes sense, logical sense for the other client of his, DeMeco Ryans, to interview, and then DeMeco bows out. So is it plausible to think that DeMeco is reading the tea leaves? He sees the writing on the wall, that this is Jim Harbaugh's job? Why even go through the process? Like, what's the point? I'll get my chance maybe a year from now, but I'll get my chance. Inevitably, DeMeco Ryans is going to be a head coach in this league. That he can be selective. He can wait for an opportunity 1 year from now. Why waste his time? Heck, why waste the Vikings' time going through an interview today that was previously scheduled if you know that Harbaugh is getting the job?
That's probably a good point. Question: Do we know where Ziggy Wilf is? He has been really quiet. As you reported yesterday, he's not in or he didn't go to California to talk to Raheem Morris and O'Connell. Do we know why he's not more involved?
Or he was involved. Yeah, he was involved in a lot of those Zoom interviews. I guess I can't tell you, between the 8 GM Zoom interviews, those initial interviews, and the 8 head coaching interviews or 7, the 15, 16 Zoom interviews they did. I can't tell you that Ziggy was on all 15 or 16, but he was on a number of those, so he was involved. But yeah, why wasn't he at the podium last Thursday at the introductory press conference for Kwesi?
Yeah,
I don't have a good answer for you on that. I wish I did. I don't. We've seen him in front of the cameras before where there's an awkwardness.
But he can sit there at the podium.
He could. Yeah, it's not like Mark answered many questions. And by the way, Mark was asked a question by one of the Vikings Entertainment Network reporters halfway through the news conference. Just to answer one simple question, he had to look down at his notes. It's like, come on, Mark. Just ad-lib the answer. Get away from your talking points or memorize your talking points. Why are you looking down at your script to answer a question? So, Ziggy could pull that off. So, Judd, I don't have a great answer why Ziggy is not as involved as Mark, but we know that, among the Wilfs, it's Mark front and center.
Declan, you've got some more reckless speculations / the reality that Jim Harbaugh could be next coach of the Vikings. Go ahead.
Yeah, I just saw this note on Twitter. Sam Webb, who I believe covers Michigan, yes, for 247sports.com, a recruiting hub for all things college football. He went on Dan Patrick's show, I believe either this morning, and said Harbaugh is going to Minnesota to get this job, end quote. So Harbaugh's nugget is here, or I should say Sam Webb's nugget here, is that Harbaugh's interviewing not just as a ploy, it's to get back in the NFL, and he has his sights set on the Vikings.
And Sam Webb is the 247 Michigan guy. He's the Ryan Burns of Ann Arbor. He does excellent work. He was on Dan Patrick this morning. I'm still telling you, though, yes, I don't doubt what Sam is saying. Jim is coming here with every intention of signing a contract to become the next Vikings coach. I'm just telling you, my sense is he still needs to win some people over in the building. Can I offer one correction from last Thursday as well? Because everything was happening so fast. Declan looked at what Jim is making on an annual basis when we brought up the buyout, that the buyout it's minimal. The buyout is not any sort of roadblock. The buyout is less than $2 million.
1.5.
So Declan was looking at what Jim has been making on an annual basis. Yeah, $4.5 million. Wasn't like 8.5, and then took that massive pay cut in 2021. So he's got a few years left on that contract. So yeah, on a per year basis, he's still due many millions of dollars. But if the Vikings want to hire Jim Harbaugh, all they have to do is cut. It's a 7-figure check, but it's a low 7-figure check. Cut that to Michigan. They can easily get him out of his contract there.
So just to be clear, we think that it's Harbaugh's job if he wins people over way beyond Kwesi on Wednesday. If he doesn't, we think it's going to be O'Connell, correct?
Yes. Now, maybe it's, again, me being a stubborn SOB, Judd.
But I think
back to last Thursday, we've heard steam for a while on O'Connell. There's some league people that think still right to this, well, not literally this minute, but as of this morning, that still think Kevin O'Connell is going to be the guy in the end. So, yes, if things fail miserably on the Jim Harbaugh visit, then yes, my money would be on Kevin O'Connell. It may still even be on Kevin O'Connell. I recorded a new Scoop podcast on Monday early evening, 5:30, saying my money was on Kevin O'Connell. But I get it. Like, I do. Judd, I completely understand it. There's a reason why Jim Harbaugh is coming to town. And the optics, by the way, even though he's already signed his class, but being on National Signing Day, like, you're doing this because you have every intention of returning to the National Football League.
This is a big middle finger to his school is basically what this is.
Yeah, let's not forget.
You cut my salary.
That pay cut he took was a massive pay cut.
$4 million, right?
Yes.
8 to 4, I believe.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's him giving a massive middle finger to Michigan administration.
And then he said at the bowl game, it's just money. I don't care about money. And meanwhile, he thought, I'm going to screw you people as much as I possibly can. So yes, he is a vindictive person. He is a football guy. So yeah, this is I'm willing to bet, like if I just had to bet right now, Dukes, I'm willing to bet that he gets the job because I think he can probably in the moment win people over. The question then becomes from the moment he gets the contract and gets the job, what does the clock tick to? Because if he's here more than 5 years, I'd be shocked. But I think the Wilfs are going to be like, it's Jim Harbaugh. Oh man, this is great. So I'm going to be surprised at this point if he doesn't get the job, especially if Kwesi is pushing for him.
That's plenty fair. But we know there's an awkwardness there.
Yes.
Now, it's entirely possible behind the scenes he's not as awkward as he is in front of cameras in some other settings, but we know that there is at least some level of awkwardness there.
I think it shows
that awkwardness
over
rear
time.
its ugly head on Wednesday at TCO.
Yeah.
And some people are like, this guy just, no way can this guy be the leader of our football team. But yes, I understand where you're coming from. Completely fair. That yes, in a 3-hour type setting or a 5-hour type setting, he can flip the switch enough and he wins them over and he leaves here Wednesday night signing a contract.
All right. Final scoops. I mean, I am wiped out. I'm exhausted right now, but what else do you have in your scoop notebook?
Well, Rick Spielman interviews with Jacksonville. Ian Rappaport had that first. I was told the title, Executive Vice President. So I think that's where I can add. I think Rappaport said he interviewed for a high-ranking Jacksonville job, but I don't know if we were told what. I was told Executive Vice President. Now, maybe they can tinker with that title, but it's not General Manager, but Executive Vice President. He would have a good amount of power in that scenario. I'll add this, Judd. I was in contact with somebody who had a nice chat with Mike Zimmer late last week. Mike is choosing to bite his tongue, at least for now. But he is well aware of the Spielman Cowherd interview. He's aware of the Spielman Pro Football Focus podcast interview. He is aware of Rick Spielman making the national rounds. By the way, I've texted with Rick multiple times saying, hey, nice work on the national podcasts, radio shows. Hey, would you like to Zoom? It looks like you have a nice Zoom setup. I'm happy to Zoom with you. Funny, Rick hasn't texted me back.
No.
He's all about the national circuit, not the local circuit.
He always has been. That's always who he's been.
He
was talking to national people on background for his entire Viking tenure.
Correct. Yeah. I mean, let's not forget he worked at ESPN for a year, right? I mean, he developed plenty of friendships that 1 year working in Bristol. So, yes.
So how long did your source that talked to Mike think that Mike was going to remain silent? Because this does seem like Rick is selling out Mike a lot. And I would like to hear from more than Mike's girlfriend about his response, because look, Mike didn't do a great job, but he certainly is not the sole person to blame for the demise of how things went with that franchise and with him and Rick.
Correct. Heck, next time Deion Sanders does a podcast with Barstool, we may get more information, right? I mean, Deion and Mike are in constant communication. So I wouldn't be shocked next time we hear from Deion, he's got some more Zimmer tidbits. And yeah, the girlfriend, by the way, Zimmer helped her buy a bike shop, East Metro, for whatever that's worth. So she's got a business background. Yeah. As far as I know, or at least she's got ownership of a business, East Metro. Okay. So yeah. So as far as I know, they're still together, although I guess I don't even know that, but he helped facilitate a deal where she is now owner of a bike shop, East Metro, for whatever the heck that's worth. My person who talked to Mike is led to believe that Mike, at least for the foreseeable future, is going to bite his tongue. Is it worth burning bridges? Mike wants to work again in the league. Now, that may not happen at this point with Dan Quinn remaining as defensive coordinator in Dallas. I mean, the Cowboys' job was the one to keep an eye on, but Mike still has a desire to one day work in the NFL. He's not ready to outright retire. So he may choose not to say anything at all. Maybe it does just continue to get filtered through Deion, through the girlfriend. But we will continue to effort a Mike Zimmer interview. I would love to hear from Mike Zimmer.
And Rick.
Rick too. I like my chances better with Mike, I think, than Rick. Yeah, I really do. And I don't know if I like my chances on Mike, but yeah, Rick is all about the national reporters. He doesn't care about us in the local media.
Never has.
Wolves wise, trade deadline a week from Thursday. Sachin Gupta is working it. I was told the Wolves had a high-ranking scout recently watching the Philadelphia 76ers, but I don't know who.
Not Ben Simmons.
I was told, not Ben, who, by the way, continues to work out in the Philadelphia area. He's still there. He shows up to different team meetings when he has to. He uses their facility, but he's also been training at St. Joe's in Philadelphia, but some stuff leaked on social media on Instagram, so he got upset about that. So he uses the 76ers practice facility as often as he can. He has lost out on millions of dollars. Now, his hope is an arbitrator gives him that money back one day in the future, but he is down millions upon millions of dollars. It is amazing how much money he is willing to sacrifice to make his point. I wouldn't sacrifice that sort of money, but his people claim it's not about the money, but man, it is a ton of money that he's lost this year. But yeah, I don't know who it was, but I was told it wasn't to watch somebody on the other team. So Philadelphia played, I don't even know who. New Orleans, I don't even know who. So I won't even name a team, even though I kind of just did. But I was told the person was there working on the Wolves' behalf, watching somebody on Philadelphia for trade's sake. So we know Gupta's got this really good relationship with Daryl Morey in Philly. So some other name has come up. We know Ben Simmons has come up, but some other name has come up. I heard there was a recent conversation with Washington. If you look at Washington's front court, they've got a bunch of forwards. So you look at the Wolves' weaknesses, they can use some rebounding help, some front court depth help, and they can use some shooting help. The Wizards do have some forwards, so is there a potential match with the Wizards? But it's not just Philly. It's not just Washington. There's many other teams that Gupta has reached out to. He's open-minded to many possibilities involving many players not named Karl Anthony Towns and Anthony Edwards. Those two guys are not going anywhere. Now, would I bet on Patrick Beverley going somewhere? No. Would I bet on D'Angelo Russell going somewhere? No. But just know that Gupta is not anti-moving a lot of guys on this roster.
Excellent stuff. We'll talk to you for more scoops on Thursday with Mackey.
You got it. Can I give you one more real quick?
Sure.
So there's a Minnesota presence in Mobile at the Senior Bowl. You got Jermaine Johnson, who went to Eden Prairie High School, played at Georgia, played at Florida State. He's probably a second-round pick, really good pass rusher. Then you've got Bouye Mafe, the former Gopher from Hopkins High School. I think he has a chance to be a day 2 pick, second round, third round. You've got the massive Gophers offensive lineman, Daniel Falele. He's down in Mobile, 6'8.5", 367 pounds. He weighed in yesterday, 367.
Down from what, 405 or something like that?
You know what, though? It doesn't matter. He's an incredible athlete.
Yeah,
he moves really well. So he's got a legit chance to be a day 2 pick, second round, third round. There was supposed to be another Gopher, Ezeki Otomowu. I think I'm saying his last name right. I hope I am. Otomowu, a defensive lineman. But he is not participating in drills down in Mobile. Turns out he got hurt late in the bowl game. The win against West Virginia, that meaningless bowl game, he ends up getting hurt. He will be okay for the combine, thankfully. But just a reminder, I'm pro player. If the bowl game means nothing, like the Guaranteed Rate Bowl meant nothing, why would you play in that bowl game?
Yeah, I think you should.
It doesn't make sense to me. And this is another example where this kid suffered an injury. Again, not a catastrophic injury, but enough of an injury where this would have been a big week for him to showcase his skill set. He'll still be able to do some stuff in Indianapolis at the Combine. He'll do some stuff at the Minnesota Pro Day in a handful of weeks. So he'll be able to show off. There's enough tape to suggest he's a legit prospect, a middle round type guy. If the numbers are really good, maybe he's a day 2 pick as well, but probably more so a day 3 pick. But he's definitely a draftable kid. But think about how big this week would have been and that meaningless bowl game, and he ends up getting hurt. Just so unfortunate.
All right. Great stuff. We will talk to you soon.
Okay. See you, Judd. See you, Declan.
Thanks, Dukes.